Hello, and welcome to another retro video game stream on original hardware. Uh, Tonight we're going to be playing Vanguard on the Atari 2600, which is a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up from 1983, although the copyright says 1982. This is a game that I played a little bit back in the day as a kid. I think my cousin owned this game, and I remember playing it at their house when we were visiting. And or maybe they brought it when my dad brought it to my grandma's house, the 2600, and brought the cartridge and we played it there. Maybe that's what I'm remembering. But what I remember about this game is the awesome little music that it plays when you collect the, I guess it's the E power up, which makes your ship invulnerable. And it really reminded me of, like John Williams' score during Star Wars somehow, or maybe Superman or something. And, as a kid, we had so many great movies in the 80s with this kind of inspiring music from John Williams or, James Horner from Wrath of Khan and other just the score from Last Starfighter is really great. I forget who does that one. But, you had all these really great, epic movie scores. And somehow Vanguard, that was the thing that stuck out to me, is it has this really cool music that it plays. It's very inspiring. So anyway, you can see from the demo here that you're playing a ship. You're traveling through this asteroid. You have this like path that you follow. And you shoot enemies, and then when you eventually get to the end, you fight like a boss. I guess the boss is Gond, who's like this space colonist terrorist or whatever in the story. I don't know the story very well. And like many shoot 'em ups, it doesn't really matter. It matters very little what the story is. But it's good blasting fun. The graphics are pretty good. The music's great. Sounds cool. Vanguard's one of the better, I would say, shoot 'em up style games on the 2600. We didn't own it, but I did play it. Like I said, a couple times. I think through my cousin's cartridge. He must have brought it or something, or we played it at my cousin's house or something. I can't remember. It's not particularly difficult. I'm not sure if you can make it harder or not. I didn't look at the manual. There might be some difficulty switch settings, but it's not super hard. But it's still really cool. I guess this is one of the earliest scrolling shoot 'em ups that there is. When I looked at the Wikipedia entry, they talked about, before that there had been like Scramble and Super Cobra. Super Cobra we've played on the Atari 8-bit previously. And so, at the very dawn of this kind of style of game, shoot 'em ups, which is one of it might be my favorite video game genre, next to RPGs. I don't know, they kind of switch places in my head. I love RPGs some of the time more than shoot 'em ups, and shoot 'em ups more than RPGs some of the time for different reasons. But anyway, a pretty cool game for the 2600. I mean, if you think about what's going on here, there's a lot. You're traveling through, caverns and stuff, sort of like what you'd eventually see in Gradius or Life Force. So previously on stream, we had played, we just played Strategy X, which is like a tank vertical shoot 'em up. And it's pretty primitive, but it's got some things about it that are kind of cool, and it has a scrolling background. And I said in that stream, I don't know how many scrolling shoot 'em ups there are on the 2600. I don't think there's that many. I think between Vanguard, Strategy X, River Raid 2, there's another one that's kind of hard to get. I forget what the name of it is now. It's by Tiger. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue what the name of that game is. SBL. SBL and a couple others have this kind of vertical or horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up, theme which is pretty remarkable for the 2600. And this is a fairly faithful, I guess, port of the arcade game. I've never played the arcade game as a kid. In fact, I never even saw it. I only knew this as a 2600 game. So, anyway, got my Slick Stick joystick here, and we're going to go ahead and get started with Vanguard on the Atari 2600. Oh, I've got no sound. That's not good. It's muted. There we go. So it looks like you don't actually have to press the button. Just there we go. Yeah. You have a little bar down there that shows you, what you have. Yes. All right. We made it through the first stage. So this is interesting. Ooh, you actually are going through downward. I guess you're supposedly traveling through an asteroid or something like that. Which makes sense, given how it looks. But it's one of those things where, as a kid, it's just sort of like, I don't know. Nice. And I've never tried for like a high score on Vanguard. I don't even know, if it's even a thing of note, because I feel like with this game, you could play a long time. I don't know. It doesn't seem very difficult to me. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to call it easy and then not even get to the boss. But again, the four-way shooting mechanic of this is pretty cool. The idea that you can shoot up and down, left, right. It's pretty neat. You aren't just going one direction and shooting one direction. Your ship is also pretty slow. I feel like, you're kind of barely moving. Which means you kind of have to kill the enemies before they shoot you, kind of thing. Now we're going the other direction. We're going vertically we're going upwards rather than downwards. Ugh. I went the wrong way. Oh, that wasn't good. One ship left. I'm going to try to go over on this side. Nope. Hey, I'll tell you what. It has continue spots right where you die. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of modern shoot 'em ups that don't even have that. Oh, man. Oh, continue. Okay, don't mind if I do. It even has continues. Now, I've played this, but I forgot about that. I wonder if it has unlimited continues. Oh. Those are nasty. You can't move very fast. I wonder if That's a difficulty setting. I think we'll have to take a look at the manual. Many Atari 2600 games do require a look at the manual. With these like alien things going on here. What the heck was that all about? Did it drain my score? Another vertical scrolling shop. Oh. I guess we beat Gond. That was pretty fast. Ooh, you don't get much time to get down there to get the E. Going in. That is so cool. I love that. This they really captured kind of a Star Wars type moment, right? You feel like you're in the trench. Oh, not quite. Maybe I'll get another chance to get it. Nope. It's a different little path. Oh, jeez. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, I'm just getting killed here. No, I gotta start all over again. You only get one continue. Okay. Let's reset the game and we'll check the manual. Because I feel like there must be, maybe the difficulty switch makes it so you fire continuously. Let's see. All right. Let's see what this says. The goal is to reach the City of Mystery at the end of the tunnel and destroy Gond. In the tunnel zones, you move around sharp rocks and barriers while battling weird flying objects. The more enemy objects you destroy, the more points you earn. If you make it to the City of Mystery and shoot Gond, you earn bonus points, but watch out, Gond can shoot you instead. If you survive the City of Mystery, you continue the game in Tunnel 2. Interesting. Okay. Until you start the game, the computer flies the Vanguard spaceship through 7 tunnel zones leading to the City of Mystery. This autoplay mode gives you a chance to see what the obstacles are before you start the game. That's kind of funny. Okay. Tunnel map, tunnel. Fly through energy pods marked with E's to infuse your pod energy into your spaceship. Pod energy prevents you from firing lasers because you have the power to crash into enemy targets and rock ledges without damaging your ship. During the 10 seconds pod energy lasts, crash into as many Helms and Harleys as you can to score points. Vanguard theme music plays while you're operating on pod power. Yeah. Okay, it talks about different zones. City of Mystery. About your spaceship. 5 lives earn a bonus life at 10,000 to 50,000 points. Continuous play option is not offered in the City of Mystery, Tunnel 2, or 2-player games. Interesting. All right. Use your joystick controller with the Atari game cartridge. Okay, starting the game. Aha. There are 4 ways to fire depending on what position of the difficulty switches. See difficulty switches in section 4 for firing instructions. Hello, Loco. I have never played Riddle of the Sphinx. It does look pretty interesting. Yeah, I played Vanguard. I was saying earlier, I played this as a kid. I think we borrowed the cartridge from my cousin, but we didn't own it. But I remember thinking it was awesome. I was probably 5 or so playing it. And I remember distinctly that the theme music when you picked up the pod, the energy pod, was just mind-blowing. It was I'm playing Star Wars. It was great. Okay, so let's see. Console controls, difficulty switches. This is what I want to know. So left A, right A. Press the red controller button to move the joystick in the direction you want to fire. Release the button to stop firing. Aha. Left A, right B, except you do not have to move the joystick forward to fire forward. The forward laser gun fires automatically when the red button is pressed. Interesting. Left B, right A, move the joystick in the direction you want to fire. Press the red button to stop firing. Left B, right B, same, except fired gun fires automatically. I think we want A and A, because I think we want to press the button to fire. Or maybe A and B? That's interesting. I think the problem we were having was that the continuous fire was actually messing us up. So let's put those difficulty switches in A and try it. It's one of the things, too, about Atari games. You got to check the difficulty switch settings because they matter a lot. Like Chopper Command, you get auto fire or single shot with the difficulty switches, and it's, to me, like a totally different game. So, all right. And our Vader Atari difficulty switch is set to A. Let's try this again. See how this goes. Oh, yeah, you can move a lot faster. Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, while you're shooting, your ship slows down quite a lot. So I'm not sure why you'd want to be continuously firing. I guess if you're a kid and you feel like you can't handle... Oh, man. I'm getting killed a lot more. It's the It's the Vanguard theme, supposedly, but I feel like it's imitating Star Wars. Okay, I'm going to continue here. It's amazing that it has a continue function. Ooh. Yeah, they did. They definitely didn't care anything about copyrights. I mean, I don't know. They kind of did because, like, I think Atari got in some trouble uh, over some copyright stuff with Pong, actually, because I think they stole Pong from uh, another company and then had to pay royalties. But I guess it's not the same as ripping off stuff like music. And actually, this game wasn't originally made by Atari. It was ported by Atari, but it was made by a different company. So I don't know, maybe Atari bought the rights from whatever company. Ah, jeez. I'm playing a lot worse with the different shooting. Oh, I can continue again. Okay. Interesting. It said the continues were only available in certain stages. Yeah, I don't know anything about how the programming works on the Atari systems. The CPU that's in the 2600 is a little different. It's a modified version of 6502. It's a 6507 or something like that. It's a stripped down version. But I'm sure that, the designers made it operate similarly on the 8-bit. Jay Miner, I worked on both the 2600 and the Atari 800. There we go. Now we've got the speed. The stage is much better with the ability to turn off shooting. But yeah, I mean, considering the scrolling that's going on in this game, it's pretty cool for a 2600 game. It's just, there's a lot going on here. Interesting. Yeah, the wizardry of programming for the 2600, it's mind-blowing, the kind of stuff they were able to get out of this limited hardware. We're almost to Gond. Now, when I ran into one of these things, I think it drained my score or something. It is ridiculously limited. Yes, 128 bytes. Bytes of RAM. 128 characters. It's just crazy. Yes. Take that, Gond. All right. Somehow that never gets old. Of course, we got to kill this last guy, and I can't shoot while I'm invulnerable. Another scrolling shoot 'em up that's actually very good on the system is Laser Gates by Magic, and I happen to have that, and I've played it on stream. It's very good. Oh yeah, all the tricks. Oh, I got a little greedy there, going for the pod, but I gotta have it. I can just fly right through everything. Nice. Oh, I timed it a little wrong. Let's see if we go over here what happens. Oh, jeez. Oh, I ran out of continues. Better than Intellivision. You know, I never played the Intellivision. I don't think I ever even saw it. I saw ColecoVision back in the day when I was a kid. I think we had neighbors that had a ColecoVision. But, you know, in some ways, the earliest consoles like the Atari 2600 and then ColecoVision and Intellivision from that same era, I wasn't that privy to because I was playing the Atari 8-bit computer. 1K of RAM, some are worse. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. 1K is, 10 times the memory of the 2600. But, of course, the Atari 8-bit, they were like 48K games. That system had way more RAM. Although the Atari 400, I think, came with 16K to start with, but still huge hardware advantage over the 2600. And again, I know a lot of people were like Commodore 64 enthusiasts, but Atari's 8-bit line was there first, and they had that stuff. Yeah, 16K to start. It was expandable up to 48K, I think. But it shipped with just 16, and I think the 800 shipped with 48K, maybe. Yeah, 48K. Most games designed to work in 48K. We had an Atari 400 with a membrane keyboard first. In fact, I have a really cool picture of watching my dad use the Atari 400, and I'm kind of leaning over his shoulder watching him play as like a 5-year-old. But we quickly upgraded to the Atari 800. 600XL and the 800XL. Yep, I think a lot of Atari enthusiasts had that era, the XL series. I think a lot of people got into Atari around that time. It would have been like 83 or 82, I think. The second wave of the 8-bit computers. But my family jumped in right away with the Atari 8-bit line. And, we had obviously a lot of the games that you would have maybe seen on the 2600 on the Atari 8-bit. So, all right, let's try the difficulty switch in the B on the right side, which is where it shoots forward by just pressing the button. And then so you don't have to push in the direction to shoot forward. I wonder how different that will be. Let's see how far we get. 34,050. I think that's our high score. It is nice that you can just start the game by pushing the fire button. Someone was asking about that on the Atari Age Facebook page. How many games are startable with the fire button? And it's interesting to think about. You don't have to press reset to start the game, 600, 800 XL a year later, probably on sale. Yeah. Christmas 84, that's probably right. Yep. Good stuff. Yeah, I think I like this configuration better. It gives you a little bit more of a opportunity to shoot. Oh, I should have timed that better. Yeah, you know, it's interesting that music reminds me of something that's not. It's not exactly Star Wars. It's something else. Ah. Ugh. Lousy. You think, you know, being able to shoot in 4 directions, you'd have all the tools you need. All right. Yeah, Wiko does make good sticks. However, the slick stick is awesome. Made by Suncom. I got to continue again. Yes, thanks. I definitely had opportunities to use the Wiko controllers a couple of times at friends' houses and stuff, and they are really good. But Suncom made the Slick Stick, and then there's the TAC 2 controller, I think, is also one that people really like. But I am a huge fan of the Slick Stick. I think it's the best Atari joystick replacement. It's precise, light. The button is fairly comfortable, responsive. It's funny how much better the third-party controllers are than the plain old Atari joystick. Although the plain old Atari joystick's not terrible. It's plenty fine. Oof. Just about bought it there. Yeah, Superman maybe. It reminds me of something too. It's definitely like John Williams inspired. Where's my energy pod? And again, you know, like I was saying, I wouldn't know anything about the difficulty switch changes to this game if I hadn't looked up the manual. And I'd say it changes the game quite significantly because you can fly so much better without shooting. I think when you're shooting constantly, you're guaranteed to crash into the walls in here. Anyway, I was talking about playing Strategy X a couple streams ago. It is vastly inferior, I would say, to Vanguard as a shoot 'em up experience. Although it's certainly interesting as a tank game. No, it gave me points. That was weird. Are you supposed to run into those things? All right, Gond. Got him. Doesn't take much to kill You can fly right through the background. That's funny. Oh, I missed it. You know, talk a little bit about how newer games lack certain things compared to older games. I don't know. There's some simple joy in collecting that pod, playing the music, and smashing into those enemies. I don't know why. It's it's really great. Ah! Ooh. I got a little bit greedy there. We got a better score. Definitely not. It's not as easy as I'm remembering it being. I don't know. Ooh, I missed that last one. Oof. My Vanguard ship hitbox is a little bit smaller than my sprite, which is interesting. Moonsweeper. I don't think I ever have. Is that in a Magic game? That's too bad your copy is broken. $51,000. Magic, yeah. Magic made some great stuff. Should I let one of these things eat me? Yeah, they give you points. Or not. Can you only run into some of them? What is happening? things shoot. All right, is it Gond again? It is. I've killed Gond. And I guess we start over again with Tunnel 1. Okay. So there's 2 tunnels. Oh, I just missed the pod. You know, considering the primitive nature of the Atari sound chip that's in the 2600, that's pretty cool music. Sounds like the sound Missile Command makes. Three snakes. Okay, good to know. Well, that's essentially, I think, what we did. And then we started dying. What other secrets are in Vanguard? Can I continue? No. Yeah, I noticed the sprite maybe was different too, but I guess not. 73,220. That's not bad. I don't think I want to try the difficulty switch in the 3rd setting. I forget what it was. It was different about it. But I feel like this difficulty switch setting within the A and then in the B, where if you press the trigger and it shoots, straightforward, but then you get to shoot in the directions that you push, is the best. Maybe just a little more intuitive, if you will. Let's do one more time and see if we can beat 73,220. You know, those snakes kind of messed us up when we were just sort of deliberately running into them. Oh, that wasn't good. It was weird. It kind of like held the tone for a second. I almost pushed it too far on that one, too. These ships look like the ships from Battlestar Galactica. The friendly ships. I forget what the name of those are. They also look like the Defender ship. it is kind of a joke how much harder getting through the tunnels is than fighting Gond, the boss. The boss is like, it couldn't be easier. You shoot one shot into Gond and he's dead. We're interesting to know how they accomplished the scrolling effect with the limitations of a 2600. I know that they have tricked it as a sprite for games like Kung Fu, but I don't know what they're doing here. I actually like this game a lot better than Super Cobra, which is another, scrolling shmup on the 8-bit and the 2600. I've never played 2600 version, but the 8-bit version I used to play a lot as a kid, and it's okay. And there's sort of more to do, and it's better in some ways, but I don't know. This game's really fun. All right, we got to get 3 of these things. All right, we've got all our bonus points. What? I guess the explosion can kill you too? And Gond. Boom. This is so great. Ooh. I pushed it on that. That's not smart. Oh. Oh, I feel like it's going faster. No. No. It did say in the manual you can only continue in certain parts, so I guess we missed that opportunity. All right, what did I say? 70,000 something? I guess that's not too bad. And we made it through both stages on that try. Well, that's Vanguard on the Atari 2600, which is actually fantastic. It's a really fun game. I played it a bit when I was a kid. I remember liking it then. We didn't own Vanguard, but we borrowed it from a family member, I believe, and own it now, and I really like it a lot. Highly recommend Vanguard. It might be in the upper echelon of top Atari 2600 games. I never played the arcade game, but I understand that it's a pretty decent port of the arcade game, which is cool. Not how many really faithful arcade ports you can count for the 2600. There's some really miserable ones, like Donkey Kong Jr. Ugh, that is one of the worst ports, maybe one of the worst games on the 2600. It's just awful. But anyway, Vanguard, fantastic, and a proto shoot 'em up with the scrolling screens and a boss fight. It's just great. It has stages and stuff. Decent controls. The ship's a little slow, but shooting in 4 directions helps make up for that. Yeah. Clearly an inspiration for games that came later too, like Life Force and stuff. All right, well, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with some more retro video games on original hardware, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening.